All right, so if you haven't been hiding under a rock, you've probably heard around what the importance is of gratitude and a gratitude practice in your life. But today we're going to talk about how it actually links to building resilience and how to do it in a way that actually makes an impact and isn't just a checklist item on your morning routine. So stay with me. We're going to dive all into that in this series around how to build resilience. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristin Constable, and I'm a leadership and business coach to values-driven entrepreneurs who are ready to activate their inner leader and make big ripple effects in their life and in their business. So if that's you, you are in the right place. And make sure to subscribe so you get notified every single Wednesday when a new video comes online. All right, so let's jump into this idea of gratitude and how it supports building resiliency. And we talked about this in last week's video. As an entrepreneur, having resiliency is so important. It is a muscle that you can build over time and will help you get up when you fall down over and over again. And it helps you do this in a way that it doesn't destruct your life. So failures no longer are these things to fear. They're actually learning opportunities. And so that's where we want to get to with resilience. And last week we talked about neutrality and how neutrality, when we can see things as neutral, neither good nor bad, and our external environment doesn't dictate our internal environment, when we practice that practice, we're now in a place that we actually get to cultivate our internal environment. And it's not dictated by the external world. So once we have that, we can start to look at, well, what kind of internal environment do we want to cultivate? And one of the most powerful ways of being you can live into is a way of being that has you living gratitude. So I'm sure you've heard this a million times, and I don't want to do just another video on the importance of gratitude. So instead, I'm going to share with you a distinction that I hope is powerful and new for you. And if it's not new, at least maybe it'll be a reminder. But I want to share with you the difference between two types of gratitude practices. The first one being a reflective gratitude practice. The second one being an embodied gratitude practice. So let's break those down and talk about what the difference is and how you can start practicing these in your own life. So the first reflective gratitude practice, the reason I'm thinking about this so much is yesterday it was Canadian Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is one of these opportunities for people to really reflect on their lives and really give thanks to the things that are in it through gratitude. So you'll see on Instagram, a million posts around Thanksgiving saying what people are grateful for, and this is great. And you might also have practiced reflective gratitude if you have a gratitude journal, or every morning as part of your morning routine, you take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for that day. All good, and it's only one little piece of what it means to actually embrace the full power of what gratitude is. So an embodied gratitude practice is totally different. It's not about reflecting on what you're grateful for. It's about living in a space of gratitude at all times. Now, this takes practice, but how does it look and how do you do this? The first thing is presence. So when you can be present to your surroundings, when you can be present to the people that you're with, and you can actually notice the little details that are there, what you'll start to notice is there is so much magic and so much to be grateful for, even in the day-to-day. This morning I went for a walk, and it was just the little bits of dew that were on the tree branches, and how beautiful that was. And standing there in that moment, being present with that and feeling in my body what it felt like to have gratitude for that moment. So that's the second piece of this embodied gratitude practice. The first one is being present, so you can actually be aware of what there is to be grateful for in real time. And then the second thing is to actually pause to feel what gratitude feels like on an embodied cellular level. So it's like a whole body experience. If you start doing this, I promise this is actually going to bring you to tears more often, but they are good tears because you're just going to be overwhelmed and overjoyed by how much there actually is in life to be grateful for. So the third piece of this embodied gratitude practice is around action and behavior. So it's one thing to notice, to feel, but then what are you going to do about it? And as human beings, contribution and giving back and being in service of others is one of the highest human needs. It's one of the things that fulfills us the most. And so when we can use this gratitude practice, this embodied gratitude practice, to not only have it be something that lives within us, but then we create a ripple effect and share it with others, that is where the real power of gratitude comes in and where resilience is linked. So how would this look? Well, a few years ago, I was in Bali and I was doing my yoga teacher training there. And one of the things that we did as part of the yoga teacher training was to do a beach cleanup. Now, this was an opportunity that maybe one of the first opportunities that I was really aware of all of these 3 pieces of embodied gratitude, and I actually got to feel it for myself in that moment. So in that moment, I was hyper present to the beauty of the ocean and to the beach and to everyone that was around me and what we were doing. I was feeling it on an embodied level. As I said, it was like tears in my eyes because it actually felt so amazing. And then the third piece was the ripple effect of actually picking up the garbage and having an impact on the thing that I was grateful for through my actions. Now, if you've ever done anything like this, whether it be giving back in some way or, donating to a cause, or even just doing a random act of kindness for somebody that doesn't expect it, you know how this makes you feel. And it's an addictive feedback loop that you want more and more of in your life. And this is where embodying gratitude starts to become habitual, as opposed to a practice that you have to think about or do maybe like, okay, I'm going to do this 1 time a day or 2 times a day. It just becomes a way of being for you. So when we are linking this back to the idea of resilience, being able to be strong and to get up over and over again from failures or when you fall down, that when we cultivate this feeling of gratitude, even those times we look for what is beautiful in the moment and how we can take action to actually contribute to the situation, to move it forward, to give back. And that will strengthen your muscle more than anything that I've found up to this point. So I hope that was helpful. And a great place to start around even starting to bring some awareness to what it is that you're grateful for is tapping into and rediscovering what your values are. So when you know what your values are, what matters to you most, you can start to bring some awareness to where those things are actually living in your life. So I'm going to include a free values discovery exercise in the link below. It is an amazing exercise to do even if you know what your values are, because values evolve as we evolve. So it's a practice that I recommend coming back to over and over again, and take that on as your integration practice from this video so you actually move it forward and you can start applying the things that I talked about today in your life. So thanks so much for being here. And again, don't forget to subscribe if you like videos like this, because there will be coming out every Wednesday a new video on a topic that helps you thrive as an entrepreneur and as a leader in your life. So thanks again for being here. See you soon.